What is up, ladies and gents? Noli here, and welcome to another Payday 2 video. I have missed saying that intro. We are back, and I'm back with a video I've been so excited to bring you for a while now. It is my personal favourite set of customization mods within Payday 2, and surprise, surprise, you can see it from the title, from the thumbnail, from this handsome looking Rust over here. It is an Overwatch mod video. I've got to thank Toastender, the mod creator, for each and every one of these mods. They're all top quality and they are vast, and this video is going to take quite a while for me to cover all these awesome customizations. Soldier 76 standing right here is just the tip of the iceberg. But before I go any further, just a couple of things I'd like to say. You guys know I love Payday 2. Payday 2 is by far and away one of my favorite, no, it is my favorite cooperative online game. Without a doubt, no competition. However, I do play a massive amount of online competitive games. And as such, I'd like to bring some of that content to you. Now, in the past, I've tried to make this a multi-content channel, and it's not really worked out. I know most of you are here for Payday 2, and to be honest, so am I. And that is how this channel is going to stay. That will not change whatsoever. If I'm making a video like this, yeah, it's a mod video. It's got Overwatch in it. But, you know, you don't have to know anything about Overwatch to appreciate this as a Payday 2 video. Obviously, you will more if you understand the Overwatch characters, but it's still, in its core, a Payday 2 video. I like doing things like this, but this channel will remain Payday 2. However, I am creating a brand new channel. The link to it will be down in the description below. I'm sure many of you will not be interested, and that is not a problem. As long as you guys are still enjoying the Payday 2 stuff I make, stay here and nothing will change. However, for those of you who are interested in seeing some different, potentially online competitive games, the channel is called Smite the Noli, and those of you who have me on Steam will know I have a pretty ridiculous amount of time in the game. Smite is, of course, a MOBA. It's done quite well in recent years, especially once it got moved over to the Steam platform. It's similar in a way to, you know, Dota and League of Legends, however, it is that third-person action style, and I've been playing it for coming up to 4 years now. I've got a ton of experience in the game, and I adore it, and that will not change. And I put so much time into playing the game that it can detract from, you know, these Payday 2 videos. I can't put as much time into Payday 2, and as such, I thought, hey, why not give it a shot? Why not throw out some Smite videos? Like I said, channel down in the description below if you guys are interested in it. Not saying it will only be Smite on that channel, it may be some variety in the future, depending on what goes down well. I've also got a lot of experience with Overwatch. I played a ton of competitive in the first 2 seasons. Not really touched it this season. Been sticking to Smite. Season 4 is on its way, and I am interested in upping my game a little bit further. And if you guys want to follow me through that, like I said, link to that channel in the description below. But for those of you not interested, not a problem. Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy some absolutely fantastic customizations for Overwatch, the Payday Edition. Alright, ladies and gents, that's a lot for those of you who actually sat through that little bit of self-plugging. Those of you who didn't, not a problem. There should have been a notification on screen telling you guys to get to exactly this time where I'm going to explain how to install these really briefly. There are loads of tutorials online. Links in the description down below to these 2 tools you'll need. You'll need the BLT. Most of you who are familiar with modding will know and already have this. But the second thing you need for some of the mods, for example, this brand new Roadhog mask, which has been modified in and is not a replacement of a texture already in the game, you're going to need something called Beard Lib. Link again to that one in the description down below. Once you've installed all that, it's a really simple process. It's just a case of dragging and dropping these mods from the mod creators page. I'm going to link Toastender's mod download submissions as opposed to linking each of these individually. I think it'll be way too fiddly for you guys if I do it that way. Instead, you're better just taking a look at his submissions, having a scroll through and seeing which ones you want to download. But that's a pretty straightforward explanation of what you need to do to download everything. It really isn't that complicated. It's generally just dragging and dropping. But like I said, there are 2 sets of mods. We have these brand new creations, which are separate to anything in the game. And we have these 3 over here, which are texture replacements. You can kind of tell the order they've been made in. The texture replacements look a little bit less clean. They do tend to clip more. That is an issue with these, and it's always going to be an issue within Payday modding. The game was never designed with it in mind, and as such, you do have these issues, but I'd say what we really need to pay attention to and to praise is the fantastic textures and the likenesses to the characters they are meant to represent. So starting things off, we have Vlad armor. I was already showing this one off before. It is the Soldier 76 Rust with that white hair. It suits him perfectly. But you can already see just the slight issues it clips around his hair. And it's a bit further out from the forehead than where you'd want it to be. Now, the mask itself, if we preview it, it looks beautiful. It looks just spot on, to be honest. It's been perfectly mapped and textured to the Vlad armor mask. You can also customize them. I wouldn't really suggest it if I were you. You know, it doesn't look quite right. It will sort of mess around with resolution, and also if you're just looking for that pure Overwatch aesthetic, you may as well leave them as the mod author intended them to be. If you're wondering why the Vlad armor one sticks out so far, it's just because in itself it is a much bulkier mask, and the way it's been retextured, it's just natural that the mask will stick out slightly further on the face than I suppose the author would want to if he had more control over it. Here we have the Strinch, which is customized to create Jesse McCree's hat and cigar. As you can see, it's taken up the pipe of the Strinch, so it's a little bit bulkier, and Rust isn't opening his mouth to accommodate the cigar, but either way, it still looks awesome, still retains that really sweet smoking effect, and yeah, the hat itself is perfectly in the Overwatch style, and I love it. It suits him, even if it is a little bit janky and clippy. Finally, we have the Demon Shank mask, which is customized as Reinhardt. I really think we need a Reinhardt body mod. You know, if we can somehow customize the improved combined tactical vest to be Reinhardt's body, this would be probably the best cosmetic mod in the game. As it is, it clips a little bit too much around the neck for my liking. I feel like maybe Toastender would have done better just to leave the sort of white face of Reinhardt as opposed to doing all the neck and the surrounding area. But either way, this is still awesome, keeping those flaming eyes of Demon Shank as well. But that's it for those non-beard lib required mods. Let's move on to the standalones. We start things off with Genji's mask, which you can already see it's clipping an awful lot less. Yeah, it's still on the bulky side. It looks a little bit out of proportion, but I'm personally a massive fan of this. In fact, we'll revisit Genji's mask later and a few more of these because you can do pretty much full character customizations. I still can't wait till we see some more Overwatch body mod changes though. That's when we're really there. Next up we have the Mercy mask, which it just looks fabulous on Rust. Can we be fair about this one? It looks so damn good. Yeah, it clips through the back a little bit, but who cares? Rust with the Mercy wig on, it's just perfect. Heroes never die. This is perfect for you guys if you're, doing your Inspire build. Try out a Mercy build instead. Next up we have the Reaper mask. Again, this one is a little bit on the bulky side. It could do with the textures being slightly shorter and further up the body, so that it doesn't clip through the shoulders. It is real bulky, this one. But again, if we do see a full body replacer, this is the perfect textured start. I'm a huge fan of this one. Moving on to the Roadhog mask, I think probably my favourite of all of them. Obviously it's the easiest one to do because it is a mask as opposed to a sort of full face we're customizing here. But this one, I feel it fits the best. And, if Rush piled on a few more pounds, you could definitely see him being Roadhog. He's already got the hair colour going down there, so it's pretty much perfect for him already. We have the Witch Mercy mask from the Halloween event. This one, I believe, looks even better. Russ looks absolutely bemused. Why is he wearing a witch's hat? Why is he wearing earrings? Who cares? This is beautifully, beautifully well textured. I'm a massive fan of these big bulky wings as well, to be honest. While I think the Reaper mask is a little bit too on the large side, these couldn't be any better. They are perfect, being big, bulky, completely different to any sort of customization we see in game. Finally, as far as these are concerned, we have the Tracer mask. There's something about this one. There's something about the way Rust is looking at me. He suits Tracer better than most. Again, it's quite impressive how well he's managed to texture and fit this Tracer hair on, because obviously Tracer's mask is just the visor. They've made Rust look brilliant here. I do like trying them out on Rust. His facial expressions are perfect for it. But yeah, I'd say this one is also top tier retexturing. Sadly, right now the Pharaoh one doesn't work. I'm not entirely sure why not. There are a couple of mods right now that have been broken by an update or two. Those will be fixed moving into the future, and I do expect to see more Overwatch content from Toastender. This stuff is just, it's top quality. It's too good for him to quit on now. I would like to see the return of the Pharaoh mask, and there are a couple of weapon mod modifications that are also missing, but we're going to take a look at those in just a second. Next up, let's step in and have a look at some of the customized melee weapons. There's a bunch of melee weapons and equipment which are also designed to look like what the Overwatch characters are using in-game. Starting things off with the Carpenter's Delight. Sadly, these do not have changed images on the melee screen. You do just have to work out which one has been replaced. This is, of course, Torbjorn's hammer. Next up, we have Mercy's staff. Also looks just phenomenal. This one, I believe, is replacing the Freedom Spear. Makes sense. Why not beat people up with Mercy's staff? It is actually, of course, her melee weapon. Next up, we have the Ding Dong Breaching Tool. I think this one might be my favorite. If you thought Reinhardt's mask was a little on the weak side because of how much it clipped, Reinhardt's hammer will not disappoint you. I'm also going to show you these off in-game alongside the customized weapons in just a moment. I believe we have one more to show. It is the Shinsakuto Katana. Of course, the best melee weapon in the game, deserves its customization as Genji's Dragon Blade. Sadly, you cannot use Genji's ultimate, but let's be honest, using the katana sometimes in Payday feels like you're using Dragon Blade yourself. This one is it's beautifully textured, isn't it? I don't think anyone could argue with how good that looks. Moving on over to the weapons. In fact, just quickly to show you the shuriken design. It's obviously Genji's shuriken. Why not? Not very hard to customize, but it is still perfectly in keeping. Again, sadly, you can't fire 3 of these at once, and you do run out of ammo with them. You know, it's not quite like Overwatch, but we're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Moving on to the primary weapons. Again, I'm going to show these off in game alongside the equipment. Starting things off with the one we already have equipped, the Falcon Rifle. It's Soldier 76's pulse rifle. Again, it doesn't have that underbarrel noob tube option. It's almost a shame it wasn't attached to the Scarface weapon, so you could fire out a Helix rocket, but unfortunately, it's just this customization of the Falcon Rifle. But as you can see, that model doesn't look quite as good as the in-game model we see there. It is perfect. I can't really get over how good the likeness is. I'm running out of superlatives to use to say, yeah, it's pretty good. Coming up next in the primary weapon section, we have the English longbow. Keep in mind, a lot of these weapons actually do have customization options when you download them from Toastender's mod page. You can actually customize the color that they're going to be running in, but I am generally a fan of the base colors he has given us. Let's change Tracer's mask, actually. It's starting to disturb me just a little bit. Let's cover up Ross' face. Next up, we have the Lebensauger. In fact, let's show off the Vulcan minigun, my personal favorite. There needs to be more Zarya customizations. I really hope he brings out some more for the lady. She has this awesome looking plasma cannon, as you see here, and it's even better when it's the Vulcan minigun, and you can mow down enemies with my critical minigun build. Again, some shameless self-promotion there. Coming up next, we have the Lebensauger, customized as Widowmaker's sniper rifle. This is the first one I noticed that could be customized in different colors to make up for Widowmaker's different skins. Really awesome though in its standard base color we see here. The Piglet grenade launcher, a slightly smallish but still fantastically well detailed Junkrat's grenade launcher. Doesn't change the arcing of the grenades, sadly. Doesn't make the same explosion noises. Those are a couple of things that, you know, maybe in time Payday modding could see, but aesthetically, this is phenomenal. And finally, as far as primaries are concerned, we have the Mosconi. Let's preview Roadhog's shotgun. This one did have a few issues with it, however, they can be fixed by downloading the right version of the mod. This one has a couple of issues when it comes to aiming down sight, which, let's be honest, we don't do all that often with the Mosconi anyway, but look how beautifully well textured this is. It even has that shine that Roadhog's has. It's a shame we don't have the primary and alternate fire, and Roadhog's hook is not yet added to the game, but we'll see, maybe in a couple more updates from Toastender. Let's take a quick look at the secondaries. There are not quite as many. We have the Cross Vertex if you want to complete that Widowmaker look. Again, I'd like to see a Widowmaker mask as well. Also looking pretty awesome. We have the Judge shotgun. It's Reaper's shotgun. We saw this actually as I loaded in. A couple of issues, I would say, with the scale of this one overall, but still pretty awesome. I love the way it's worn on one side. It's just... It's just a perfect replica added into Payday 2. I don't think there can be any complaints. And here we finally have Mercy's pistol, one of the more simple ones, but still in and of itself very much so effective. These are of course retextures of weapons within the game, as we've seen in the past, but that is, if you ask me, no loss at all. I'd much rather run around as Genji from Overwatch than Wolf from Payday, if I'm honest, at least for a little while. Anyway, ladies and gents, let's move on to take a look at some of the awesome new equipment options and take a look at the weapons and melee weapons in-game. Okay, so we have a couple of different options when it comes to the brand new equipment of choice. We have these brand new Torbjorn turrets, which are pretty sensational. I'd say as far as modded textures go, they are definitely up there. Unfortunately, they don't shoot exactly like Torbjorn's turrets do. You know, they still shoot like the Payday ones and kind of at the bottom because they're a bit higher up than the usual turrets, but I don't see how it's possible to actually complain about mods of this quality. They are so impressive. It might just be I'm looking at this with, you know, rose-tinted glasses because I love Overwatch and I love Payday, and they've come together here sort of seamlessly. But here we have one of the mine options. You got the Junkrat sensor mines. Sadly, it doesn't quite work like C4 as you'd like it to. You don't have Junkrat's detonator. You still have to wait for enemies to walk over it, but oh well. At the end of the day, look at it. It's awesome. And that isn't it, actually. You have another choice in terms of explosive placeable in the Widowmaker trip mines, and those are just as awesome as you're seeing on screen right now. So ladies and gents, I hope you have enjoyed this segment of the video. I'm going to leave you guys with some music and some remaining gameplay showing off the customized weapons in game, how they look in the first person model, and also swinging these brand new textured melee weapons around so you guys get to see them. I implore you, give them a go. Links down in the description below, including the new channel link and links to all mod related stuff. I am so excited to be back on YouTube making these videos, and I will hopefully see you either on the new, more competitive channel, Smite the Noli, or back here in the next Payday video. See you guys very soon.